Hello, I'm Dan Schaefer, and this is Brent Buffa. We wanted to talk a little bit about, a little more in depth about baseball training techniques that I've been able to use with Brent. With a training technique that my dad learned back in minor league ball in 1939, we increased Brent's fastball. Brent is currently 31 years of age. When we went through this program, he was 29. What we were able to do was to take his fastball at the age of 29 and move it from 85 to 90 miles an hour. And that is substantial when you're talking about that time frame. There was a benefit that we were not expecting, and it was that arm strength that we worked on. And it is a specific technique that we used over a period of time. The arm strength worked into something else.
My fastball, of course, increased, and I noticed when I was, really trying to let it go, that, it was definitely had a little bit more tail than normal as far as my fastball. That was my four seam. My two seam is like a sinker, and so that was actually sharper as well. And but then I started throwing my curveball, and my curveball was always pretty good. But it was definitely, basically the program increased, endurance and strength in my arm, and it made everything sharper. My changeup, my cutter, curveball, everything, and it's helped me quite a bit.
You do not ice your arm after pitching?
No, I don't.
That's how strong his arm has become. You always see in the dugouts the pitchers with the ice bags on the biceps, whichever arm they're at, over the shoulder, to cut down on inflammation. Brent's arm truly is so strong that he does not have to ice after a game. When we were going through this, after he had gotten to the point where he was extremely strong and he was working on maintenance, he would be able to throw, and I was with him, 120 pitches a day. He'd take a 2-day break, 2 days. We'd come back on the third day. He'd be able to throw another 120 pitches. I kept asking him, are you sure you're all right? 40 pitches, 60 pitches, 80 pitches. He never tired. His arm did not get weak. And I am convinced that when you're talking about the kinesiology of this particular exercise, when you're talking about the deltoid, the bicep, the tricep, all of the ligaments, tissue, everything that's involved from the elbow down, no Tommy John surgery has Brent ever been through, wrist, forearm, fingers, strength, everything that this particular technique does that my dad showed me a long time ago absolutely strengthens everything in that pitching arm. And that is the unbelievable part about this story, that you can throw, and you can throw. As you can tell, he is a stocky person. He stands about 5'10", weighs about 205 to 210, and he's very muscular. Because of that physique, all of the different trainers, strength conditioners, speed people, when they looked at Brent, they more or less said, okay, we realize that you're probably not going to be able to run fast. And that's the way in which he was told year after year after year after year. After about 2 months working with me, he was able to move his speeds downward, or quicker, faster, however you wish to approach that. And he was able to, as I've stated, move that fastball from 85 to 90 miles an hour.
I was told, like you said, that I wasn't going to be able to run fast, and then I did your training, and I became quite a lot faster. My endurance especially. In Italy, I would be running with some kids, and a lot of the kids I would be playing with on my team were younger, and believed to be in better shape than me. One of the kids was like, he was young, I think 18-year-old, in good shape, good size, and he said, he goes, you're a good player. I looked at your stats, and I said, yeah. And he said, but you don't look very fast. And I said, well, how about we run right now, and we'll see who lasts longer. We proceeded to do what they call suicide triangles. We did one of those, and we finished about the same. And then, and his hands are on his knees, he's breathing hard, breathing heavy. And I'm just standing there looking at him, and I go, you ready to go again? And he's like, go again? And I said, yeah, go again. And he's like, well, yeah, okay. So then we started doing it, and I ended up finishing and I looked back, I finished, and I looked back, and he's still on left field foul pole. And I'm not, my hands on my knees, nothing. And I'm just looking at him, and he comes up and he's like, oh, well, you know, he goes like, I should be able to beat you. I said, yeah, you should be able to beat me, but you're not in good shape.
I teach breathing, how to breathe properly when you run. Can you please tell me how you used the breathing techniques that I showed you and cross-trained them over to your weightlifting?
I never ever thought about my breathing. I just, second nature, just like everything else, just breathe. I mean, and so then when he taught me the technique, I decided to try it, with myself in terms of weightlifting, and it really helped me come down quicker when I was lifting as well.
One other very important thing is recovery time. And what Brent learned with recovery time was that after the endurance takes hold, he is able to get through a workout, he is able to stop, recover, and even if it's the next day, he can again continue to work out. He can play ball. When you are in a cardiovascular state of mind that you know is world class, you are able to recover. And as he mentioned with the young man over in Italy, you are able to run, you are able to expend energy, you are able to give a full amount of resources to whatever you're doing, and yet you are able to recover very, very quickly. This is key for an athlete that is interested in making it to the next level.